What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another game analysis video. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different only because the video was all janked out on this most recent game against FC Chattanooga. The final score was 0-1 to Chattanooga off of a banger from like 25 meters out. And I don't think it actually caught the goal, which is unfortunate. The stream was all over the place, so the downloaded footage that I have has most of the second half, if not all the second half, and then only like 2 or 3 clips from the first half. So we're just going to go over everything that I have, and that way it gives you guys a good idea of what's going on. So I play left back in this game, and we will just kind of kick it off. So here we go. So let's press play. So they are kicking off from left to right. Ball goes way over the top over to our right-hand side. Right back does a fantastic job of getting it out, and then we move on from there. Next play is first touch of the game. Little 1-2 through the midfield, bad touch, and then I'm just choosing to clear it out into one of our guys who's able to get a 1-2. So that was to our center forward, and then we're able to get out of it, which is awesome. And then the goalkeeper ends up getting there, unfortunately. Next play, so I am on the bottom of your screen, just getting the ball now. And we're going to pause it here. Okay, so this one really quick. This is a situation where I think I can split the defense in a couple different ways. So they have 2 forwards and then kind of 3 in that middle block, and then they've got 5 sitting in the back. There is our left winger who's playing in front of me. I mentioned him actually in the Puma Future Ultimate video. The initial review, he's the one who wears Puma Future Ultimates. He's wearing GXs right now, but he is kind of in that space in between like the 45 and 50 meter line. If you look at the football lines, that split pass would be so good to go forward and to be able to break those lines. So that's something that I'm just thinking about, always playing forward, always playing forward. That's my first look. And that's what coach is sort of, I guess, has asked us to do more often. All right, so we'll play, but instead we're just going to circle the ball around because this is very early on in the game as well. So that's something to think about. So recycle, and then we're playing forward. All right, next pass, just intercepting this ball. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually press pause there. Okay, so this is a situation too where we are on the break and our defensive line isn't coming forward super fast, which is okay for this situation just because we have quite a few numbers forward. We have 5 forward. But this is a situation where I should drive with the ball. I have confidence. I can run really quickly. One of the things I'm good at, my psychologist and I always talk about owning our capabilities. One of the things that I feel I'm very good at is dribbling at speed with the ball. And so if I can drive forward and forward and forward and maybe even hit the center forward who's on the far right-hand side of your screen, and then, or even wait to hit that left winger. When we spoke about it at halftime, this was a moment that he was just like, dude, just drive. They're not going to step to you. The guy's kind of moving sideways with you. And then as soon as he comes to tackle you, little hesitation, and then you push it in front of him, he has to foul, that kind of thing, right? So just something to think about. But I do play this ball into the feet of our 11. So we'll press play. And he takes a touch pass. But the right back does a decent job at getting physical there. All right, first throw of the game, getting it into the center forward who does a good job taking it back. And then we move possession on from there. Next is a little defensive header out of bounds. That was going to go to one of our players, but we actually got lucky with that one. So this is the throw from that header play. Straight into the center forward again, who does a great job. Kind of bounces it off, and then we'll go another throw, and I'll just let this one play through. So this one straight into the center forward again, center forward's feet, and he's able to, I don't know why he didn't get fouled there. He was really getting dragged back. Anyway, little touch here. Now I'm putting tons of pressure. So now we're in the second half, obviously. Tons of pressure on that winger, and then they're able to play out of it, but we end up getting possession there. So same winger here that I stepped to. He's very left-footed, so it's just about keeping him to the line, and then he cuts in a little bit and has to play top of the box. Nothing happened out of that. Another defensive header, which is great. So again, doing a good job making sure that that player doesn't get many touches on the game unless they're going to switch the ball, and then it's a 1v1. Ball back to our winger, who then takes it forward and is able to, and you can see me running on the sideway there. Okay, I'm going to pause right here. So perfect. All right, so when you're looking at a play like this, I am almost in a 3v1 situation. Our winger is, or maybe that's our center, one of our center midfielders. I think that's our winger. is dropping right in the middle of our two center backs, or right on top of our two center backs. Our right back is completely out of the picture at this point. And because I think he had overlapped and then we got countered from the other direction. So it's not like, don't worry about where the right back is right now. But you can see there's two center backs. We have our winger, and then I'm on the far side. And you could see before this play happened, you can back it up just a little bit. I'm backing up, and then I choose to run forward towards my goal while checking my shoulder to make sure that there's no one that's in a dangerous position behind me. Because this guy our center back's doing a great job of shielding this guy to the sideline. And then as soon as he tries to hit across, most likely I can be there because I'm 10 meters ahead, or 5 or 6 meters looking by the football lines, but 5 or 6 meters ahead of the attacking players. And between me, the center back, and then the winger who does a good job of covering, it's a pretty win-win situation unless he hits an unbelievable cross right on the head of one of those oncoming players, which is pretty unlikely. In this case, obviously, I get the defensive play out of it, but again, that's being in the right place at the right time, covering that back post. All right, so we'll play. So ball comes across, and then that's that play right there. And you could see 3 players on the back post ready to take that right away. So this is that corner, and I'm on the back post kind of pushing and shoving. Miss the header there, but then we get and double. One of our players does a great job. Our center forward actually does a great job at closing the second guy, and then I just hit it off of him and let our center forward drive, which is great. And we'll keep going. We get a throw in out of this, so I'll keep it going. Ball comes to me. And then it's a little turn back to our center back, who plays it across to the other side. All right, so this is a great play as well. So little touchdown, and then rifle it in, great cross right on the head of our center mid, who unfortunately just can't get enough power behind it. But that's all right. That's part of my cross as well. Ball comes out to me, and then I'm gonna pause it here. Okay, perfect. So we've got a couple different options here. So you can see I've driven inside because that guy wants to put me on my right foot, which I feel pretty confident on both feet, but I'm pretty left-footed dominant for the most part. So drive in on my right foot, which is no issue. And then we've got a couple players in our forward line, almost of 4. So we've got a center forward, we got the right winger, we got the 10, and we got the left winger. You can all see them in that space there. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that 9 or the number 10 to check so that we can get a flick on from one of those 2 players. So as we play, straight in, flick on, and then my responsibility then is as he's cutting inside, I'm going to get around him. And then there's an opportunity for me to be an option if the 10 decides. If not, he decides to shoot and it gets blocked, but the option's there. That's the biggest thing. All right, so here we go. Little play into our 7, who then flicks it on. Fortunately, doesn't get there, but that's all right. Ball comes back to me, foot on it, play to the 6, does a great job of turning out, and we're able to play out of that, which is awesome. Ball from the center back comes out to me in a great position. So I cut it back, and he just gets a touch on it, unfortunately. So that is, I'm going to pause it right there. So that's a situation, 1v1s I'm continuously working on, crossing and stuff. I think in that scenario, I should have just taken my touch, driven line, got inside the box and make him either make a play for a corner kick, foul me, whatever it is. I don't think I should have cut it on my right foot just because I was kind of in an awkward position, and he got there really quickly. So at the end of the day, it's like, that's a situation where I just need to touch and whip the ball in. You'll see the next time I think I get in that type of position, I'm just going to touch it down and whip it in to try and get an opportunity on goal. Because at this point, we're at 64 minutes, 27 seconds. This is an opportunity where we really need to get, we're down 1-0 at this point. Again, I apologize for not getting the goal. It was, the stream was all over the place, as I said before. So, but that's a situation where I just need to whip the ball in because we got 3 players right inside the box, right on that PK spot. So that's a great opportunity there. All right, so we'll play. Next play here, again, 1v1, just getting out. I'm pointing to the number 7 to get back and help me with this one. He does a great job of showing him kind of doubling here. But again, this is a situation where, so that's me back into the 6. 6 does a great job of playing out. And then I'm going to rifle it into our 7, who just, that ball could have been a little bit better, a little bit more to him. It was only about a couple meters away, but again, that's just one of those things. Just got to be super accurate. Great job from our right back. Ball comes out to me from the goalkeeper, and this is what I mean by dribbling at pace. So this is just looking for that ball, rifle it into the oncoming 9 who sets it back for our 6. So great play there. Free kick, that free kick. So I'm going to pause. Okay. Right as he's about to head the ball. So you can see where the numbers are, right? So that ball needs to be a little bit closer to the goal, in my opinion. Just saying. That needs to be a little bit closer to the goal, probably closer to the PK spot or even the 6-yard box on the far side, because that's where a lot of our numbers ran. So just got to get it past that first or second guy, and then we're in a perfect spot. All right, so we'll play. Get a clearance out of it, and this is a situation where I don't want to bite there because that's a 2v1, so we're just getting back in defensive shape. A lot of our players are bombing back, which is awesome. And this, again, I'm going to look my shoulder, check, step to this guy, and he's going to play it out of bounds. We got great cover from our center back, so nothing to say there. Little early play from the goalkeeper again, and then driving forward as best I can, try to break those lines and rifle it into the 9, who does a great touch. And again, we're trying to break lines there. He probably could have turned inside, but that's okay. Here's that situation I was talking about. So little touch and pause. Okay, right before I cross it, look how many guys are in the box. This is fantastic from us as far as getting in the right position at the right time. We're basically a 4v4 in the box, which is awesome. And there are the other guys, the midfielders from Chattanooga, are a little bit late coming in, which, to be fair, is, it is what it is. But our positioning here is really good. So it's just about getting the cross. So here we go. We'll play. So ball comes in. Actually, a really good ball. Our midfielder gets double teamed and unfortunately doesn't get it there, but that's all good. Ball comes out from the center back, little jink back to him, and then we play out of that, which is great. Another ball from the goalkeeper. And here's another situation. I'm going to try and hit one of our center forwards. So little touch in the center forward. He's fantastic in the air. And I think we get a free kick out of that, actually. Right-footed corner kick, a little bit too lofted, but decent effort on the back post by one of our midfielders, which was awesome. So I'm going to let this one play. As you can see, I've dropped off, and then ball's going to come back, and this is just a misstep. I slid in, so I won the ball back. Unfortunate cross there, but that's just, I don't know what the heck happened there. It was like my nervous system just tweaked. Crossfield ball, diag, right into the good spot. I think that's a good spot to be in. That's a good place where we can win the ball back. Ball comes over to me from the center back. This is the last play of the game. Ball goes over to our winger, who then plays it backwards, I think. And then a little chip into him. He knocks it on to our number 9 running on. This is a great touch by our number 9. And then just doesn't quite get in that position. So that is it for the touches. As you can see, 93-27 is the last. This was like the last kick of the game. And yeah, it was a bummer. There was a couple calls that I think could have gone our way. We had a peak, should have been a PK in the first half. But again, that's out of our control. That's out of my control. So at the end of the day, what I want to talk about here is what I can control, and that is my own play. So biggest things that I take out of this game is much better on the crossing compared to last game that I did, the analysis against Maryland, I believe, one of the previous ones. So that's really important. That's great. I've been working on crossing and stuff every single day after training, doing extras and stuff. That's a really important piece of my game. So that's been improving, which is an awesome thing to see in the game as well. A couple other things. I think 1v1 defending, I can be a little bit more aggressive. I think I'm very good at showing line, recovering really well, and making sure my body position's in a great spot. The one thing that I want to do is to be able to step out to that guy and win the ball before he even gets close to our box. That's one thing that I'm starting to work on in training that I'm really being cognizant about. So that's, I would say, is one thing for me to kind of note to myself of what I want to work on. And then just finishing product. I think I have the confidence, and I would like to continue to build the confidence where I can take the ball, drive forward, feel comfortable with the ball at my foot, and only release it when the timing is correct, and no sooner and no later. And the biggest reason for that is because I honestly believe I can make such a big impact, and I'm gonna do everything I can. One of the biggest things that my sports psychologist and I talk about is maximizing impact versus minimizing mistakes. Because when you play with fear, you play because you're like, oh, I want to minimize, I don't want to make any mistakes. That's not the way to play. The way to play is to maximize your impact. Inevitably, you're gonna make mistakes. That's okay. If you watch, there's an interview with De Bruyne that I saw earlier yesterday, I believe, and he said, it's just mistakes are part of the game. So usually if I make an action and I make a mistake, I'm going to do it 2 or 3 more times, especially if the idea is right, because as soon as the idea is right and then it's executed well, usually it comes to a cross, a goal, an opportunity, a defensive tackle really in a good spot. All of those things kind of come together when you try to maximize your impact as opposed to minimizing your mistakes. So that's a big thing that I'm trying to work on this week, kind of looking forward to our next game, which is next weekend in about 6 days. And that's something that is a huge thing for me moving forward. So that's kind of it for the analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys do have any questions about position specific stuff, you can leave a comment down below, or if you want a one-on-one for me to analyze your footage, you can book a Zoom call on my website, www.noahcavanaugh.com/shop. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys being here. As always, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.